Hello, welcome back to another episode of Coaching Conversations. Today, we're going to be talking about how to find really good employees in the current marketplace where labor and quality skills and quality employees are of a great shortage right now. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Coaching Conversations with Nick and Chris. Today, we're going to be breaking down how to find the right employees, the employees that you need most, the quality ones, the skill-based employees, the reliable employees in the current marketplace. We know, particularly in Australia, there's a great supply shortage of good quality trades, good quality subbies, good quality employees for a lot of different industries. So we're going to be walking into that topic today. But before we jump in, Nick, how are you this morning?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Ready to rumble. Unfortunately, the weekend was too short, but I'm figuring when I become Prime Minister, we can have an extra long weekend, you see.
Every
Work
weekend.
4, take 3 off. Vote 1, Nikki P.
I think that's a brilliant idea. I think you'd have a lot of Australians voting for you just for that.
It's going to be a landslide, buddy, a landslide.
Landslide, 3-day weekends. And hopefully GDP doesn't go.
How about you? We'll work extra hours on those 4.
You know what? I think that's a great idea.
Don't you reckon? 2 hours extra every day for 4 days?
Yeah.
There ain't going to be many people that are going to go no. Maybe government employees. They'll go no.
Well, they get the RDOs anyway. So.
I get the RDO, anyway. Flexi day, that day.
Rolling from having 3-day weekends, which is a serious voting pool type.
Landslide, buddy.
Landslide. Let's dig into today's topic. We know, and we've got clients right now that are struggling to get really good quality trades and really good quality subcontractors onto their building sites. We've got a few other clients that aren't in the trades and construction industry that are trying to find really good quality employees, but they're really struggling to do so. With the current shortage of quality employees, what's your advice, Nick, to tackle this? How do you get around it if you're running a business right now?
Yeah, look, it's interesting. I think, post COVID, I think there wasn't a concern based on, the economy and skilled migrant labor and all the rest of the stuff. And funny enough, it's a major concern and a problem at the moment. So, and typically, everybody thinks there's going to be doomsday, all the housing prices are going to go down, the market's going to crash, and actually the opposite's happened, right? Everyone's flat out. So, when you've got a challenge, I always think that there's a solution and it makes you better than what you were previously. So I've sort of written down 4 areas I think that we could definitely look at. This is certainly what I'm coaching my clients on and, every other person, whether you're in the trade or you're in other industries. It could be hospitality, it could be, IT,
yes.
All that stuff. So,
okay,
number 1 is I think you need to retrain internally. And what I mean by that is, you may have some people that were really just good at one area of the business itself, where maybe they could be retrained again to also not only do that area, but do somewhere else. As an example, you may have a carpenter, but now that carpenter could be retrained to do, retaining walls, as an example, or vice versa. Or, you've got somebody that's, really good electrician, and maybe now they can do, alarm installations and stuff like that. Obviously, retraining, get ticketed, so, it's all board. And so, and what that does is, it gives you flexibility of where you can position that person, where traditionally you've only stuck with, they can only do that. And the idea sort of came to me because a lot of European-based, tradespeople that when they come here, they already know 2, 3, 4 different skill sets and are already trained there. It's just a matter of them getting a ticket here. And, most people, obviously, they're migrants here, they're permanent residents, and they've got already those tickets and they're already skilled. So, and they can do anything from, carpentry to putting gyprock up to, doing electrical work to do whatever. So now you've got a better option. So I think retrain internally would be first. Speak to your
Mhm.
team and say, look, what other skill sets would you like to do? And let's see if we can get this done. It's going to benefit you. It's going to benefit the company as well, right? So I think that's
Okay,
very, very important. Good place to start. And it's good for
great.
the employee because they go, man, I'm learning something new. You know,
Mm,
the boss is looking after this or the company's looking after it. I bring more value. More value equals more pay equals more productivity. More, you know, just it's just win, 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 win all the way around,
mm,
which is cool.
mm. Great, good. I really like that. So kind of
Yeah,
upskilling the team and developing them as the employees, I guess. Again, which makes them more versatile for you.
correct. I
You
mean,
say.
you know, you may have somebody that's in the field at the moment. Maybe they're you know, a site foreman or a site manager or something like that, and you need somebody in operations or project management. It's not that much of a gap, you know, from where they are today to where they
Mm,
can be. So
yeah.
instead of hiring the next person because maybe there's a shortage, you can retrain that person and say, look, you know, we can probably hire a laborer, but it'd be really good for you to come up and manage the team. So
Mm,
once again, it's retraining, you know, upskilling, like you say. So
great. Okay, cool. That's great.
number two is here's what I really like to do. I believe in the kind of try before you buy you know, scenario. So it's always good if you're looking to employ people rather than employ straight away, to be really good for you to test them as subcontractors. So let's say, you know, I don't know, you need some concreting done, you're a builder. Instead of having a full-time concreter working for you or a team, you can outsource that and go, hey, can you guys get this done for me? And test them out. I think there's a lot of one-man operations, you know, that would, to be brutally honest, make more money and half the headache of what they're dealing with if they actually work for somebody, but they're too proud to be able to ask for that, and they get stuck in their one man, you know, shit show, so to speak, because
Mm,
you know the books aren't balanced, their project management's out, time management's ridiculous, you know, there's no
mm,
family life, and to
mm,
be honest, their quoting isn't as good because they're trying to do everything, do the work, and then do all of that stuff. They've started that way, and maybe now they've sort of gone down a rabbit hole that's too far down, and they just need that helping hand to go, hey, let's test you out for a bit, and hey, by the way, do you want to join our team? And I
mm,
can't tell you how many businesses I've done that with, and
mhm,
it works really, really, really well. It's a great opportunity to test. You know, you're helping small operators join a bigger team like yours. More than likely, they get holiday, sick pay. They get more money than actually what they're making with half the headache. You know, usually I know that their wives or husbands or girlfriends or boyfriends would be happy with you because
mm,
it gives them some level of life. And you know, now you've got somebody that you've tested, you're happy
mm.
with them, you know that there's a small gap to get up to your standards already. They've got those standards, so literally you're, you know, sort of placing them into your business without too much disruption. Very,
Yeah,
very good way to go with it.
perfect. Great. So completely try before you buy. Ultimately, it works out for both parties as well.
Win-win.
Um, and yeah, like you said, you know, it I guess it eliminates that risk as well. It doesn't. You're not, you know, bound to hiring someone full time and then needing to keep the work up. You've got that 3 months, and if it's an agreed thing where you say to the subby, "Hey, I'm going to put you on for 3 months. Stay on as a subby, or just pay you through your ABN, and then we'll see where we are in 90
Yeah,
days time."
exactly. You know, I think, you know, it's an evolutionary process. I think if they're working really well, you've built a good relationship, you're happy, they're happy. At the end of the day, it becomes win-win, and
Mm,
you know, for both parties. So I think if you can go that way, it'd be really, really, really cool. You know, so.
great, very good. What's point number 3?
Point number three is I've written redesign the org chart for efficiency. In other words, you know, what you do with what you've got. All
Ah,
right, very important point. So some organizational charts, they've just done it that way, or, you know, the structure of the organization is just done a particular way because that's just how it's always been done, or that's how it
mm,
was done 20 years ago, or, you know, we've
mhm,
never really thought about it. And, you know, that guy does that. But
mm,
the truth of the matter is, every time I start with a business, I always, always, always like to spruce up the org chart by looking into it and going, well, how do we do this with one or two people less? Like,
mm,
oh, what do you mean? I'm like, well, you know, there's 200 grand saving in your pocket, give or take.
mm.
And can we run more efficiently? Why is it that there's 4 touches of that paperwork? Why is it, the PM speaks to that guy, that guy speaks to the guy in the field, that guy speaks to the tradesman, that guy speaks to the, subcontractor. Then I'm like, man, could we eliminate 1 or 2 steps in there? And can we eliminate having to have so many people, for this particular job? Is it efficiency through productivity efficiency, i.e. is it technology that needs to be better, communication that needs to be better? Is it efficiency and skill sets of, it's taken 3 people to do one job, council workers, one guy on the shovel, the other dude in the bobcat asleep, the girl with the paddle pop, the other guy with the barriers, the other guy with the hose. Why is there 7 people where I've seen it in Asia, one truck driver, the other guy at the shovel, they're working all night, get job done. 2 people, truck, that's it. No barriers, no thing, no 20 kilometers in front, no paddle pop. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, man, how do you, and like I said, what do you do with what you've got? At the end of the day, if your work flow is increasing, but you can't hire more people, it makes sense that you run more efficient. And how do you, we just spoke about retraining, but maybe you can redesign the org chart where the person is responsible for what I call a primary role and then the secondary role. Very similar to what we do with this team. Primary role coach, secondary role magazine, mastermind stuff, money, all of these
content.
Content, all of these things that we do. So I think today it's definitely worth having a look at, where are all the players on the team? Do I need 2 strikers? Can I have 1 striker and 1 winger less, but the center midfield floats around? Or can I make the center midfield be a striker as well and come back when they need to? You've got to think about it from that level, because saving time and money is going to be good for business and back pocket.
And all day, every day, I say it to business owners all the time, efficiency leads to profit. Improve your efficiency and you become more profitable as a result. So that's totally the way to go. Good. That's really good. I really like that one. What have you got lined up for number 4?
And number 4 is, I think it's important to look at, where you are with the team itself. And most importantly, from a company efficiency point of view, where is everybody? I mean, you've got a individual efficiency, but a company efficiency is, are we still selling what we used to sell? And here's an example. I got a company that was doing maintenance, for small maintenance, hang the door here, washer here, change a window out there, do all of that stuff. And 54% of the team was based on that, with a 30 grand, 40 grand outcome per month. Now we've gone, our average price for other, services that we do, bathroom renos, all small renos, is average price is 13 grand, where the average price for that was like $750. About 54% of the team was working on it. So I guess what, as a company efficiency, we're changing it all around and going, well, forget all of these hundreds of little jobs that make you no money versus restructure. We've got enough lead flow in the other area to literally shut off that other one, or go, hey, no, we're not going to come and change your washer. Our minimum job is $5 grand in maintenance. And then you're cool. So basically you're changing the structural output of the business, which I think is very, very clever as well, because some people are busy kind of chasing their tails and with a big personnel instead of being really lean and making bigger money, because they've figured it out. With less people equals more money in your pocket if you can increase the output.
Right. So what you're saying is use the team you have, obviously create efficiency on the way through, but then target the products and services that you're actually selling, and maybe spend more time working on getting more of the more profitable jobs and work on those instead of doing
it takes exactly the same amount of time to go and do if you're a roofing expert, let's say, to change gutters and 10 tiles as it does to probably change a whole roof. Still got to go there, still got to quote it, still got to send the team, still got to put
Yes.
the ladders up, still got to put the safety harness on, still got to do all
Mm.
that. And one job's, $2,000 and the other job's 20 G's.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense to me. I'd rather go for the big ones. Now, if you're set up and you've got, 30 vans out on the road, you're a, I don't know, plumber that just looks after, I don't know, hot water systems or whatever it is. And that
Yep.
seems to be it rather than replumbing a whole house. I go maybe, but if your infrastructure is sort of set up like that, you're not really making that much money in that. There's good opportunities now. You've cracked a different marketplace or a different product within the marketplace, and now you've got multiple streams of income. It makes sense that because right now the whole topic that we're talking about is a shortage of really good skilled people. So it's not a product service type issue. It's a skill set / personnel issue. So it makes sense if you're 50-60% geared up in something that was good when you could get enough people to be okay, but you can't now. And you can retool, and basically it's retooling the business, to do better. So
That's a very good point, because a lot of people are finding it hard to scale because they can't find the skills or the right hands. But what you're suggesting is retool your market offering based on the team that you've got, and obviously work on the more profitable aspects of your products and services.
exactly.
That's very clever. I like that. I really like that. In fact,
You don't have to go too far. You're just adding another spoke to the wheel. That's all it is. And maybe that spoke is less work and equal money. At the end of the day, you're still making, you're lucky if you're making 30-32% today, you're killing it. Most people are 20% GP, give or take. So
Yep.
what would you rather? 20% of, $1,000 or 20% of 10 grand? It's the same work. You still got to drive the truck, the van, the thing, meet it. Like it's not like, and look, if you're a different business like us to go, is it live events we did the perfect same thing. Is it live events or is it like this? And the answer is like this. Live events are a thing of the past. Live events would be stupid to try to compete at that level with all this uncertainty, to book rooms, to do all of that stuff. And most people in our industry, we already started well before that, and we pivoted 2 years before COVID. So through necessity, once again, do what you've got with, do what you can with what you've got. My situation changed. We changed. That fruit wasn't good anymore. As spending all this money, we retooled and we're good to go. And I mean, what's better, traveling 200 days, or do I travel, to my office?
So I was going to say 20 days, maybe. Maybe.
So, and we're still delivering the same output, if not better.
That's right.
Our clients are happy.
You can kind of call that market adaptability, I guess.
Correct.
Understanding what the market's providing and then adapting your product or service mix or whatever it might be to suit the market better.
To take up less personnel. That's
based around the people.
That's it. That's what it is.
Great. Those are some really good points. And I hope that people are taking some really clear takeaways away from this episode. Have a really serious think about what you're doing in your business, guys, if you're listening or watching this, and think about what you can be doing if you're finding a bit of a supply shortage in labor at the moment. Nick, can you please summarize those 4 points quickly once again, just to wrap up?
And do. So number one, retrain internally. I think it's really, really important. Number two, look for, subbies maybe that then you can employ into your business. Try before you buy. Number three, I think it's redesign your org chart to go, hey, does everybody have to be the way that they are at the moment? Can we tidy that up? And number four, look at what you're offering and maybe retool to, equal the same personnel, but, high paying income, producing activities.
Yeah, perfect. Very, very good. Guys, like I said, hopefully you got some great value out of this episode. If you have any questions or want to ask more questions about this topic, please shoot us an email to askitupcoach.com.au. Thank you once again, Nick.
No problem.
We'll see you all again on the next episode of Coaching Conversations. Bye now.
Bye now.